Hello biology students, this is just a quick tutorial on how to do the plant structures lab. Alright, so this is the digital version of the lab. You're obviously not going to be using a microscope for this. So you're going to go to your Schoology homepage and we're going to have to access just a few pages. For instance, we're going to go to our weekly calendar. We're going to go to our weekly calendar, we're going to open up week 4. When we open up week 4, it's going to look like this. I just have it on a separate tab. So we're going to open up this week 4. I'll pull myself out of the way here. And then these are the tasks that you need to do to complete this lab. Number 1, watch this video here called the link is titled Plant Structures. The video looks like this. It is titled The Amazing Process of Photosynthesis. It's a really good introduction. It sets your mind up for what you're doing. What are you looking at? What are the plant structures you're looking at? The whole purpose of this lab is for us to see what are the plant structures that deal with, move, and carry the reactants and products that are necessary for photosynthesis. Right? So we have sunlight, water, glucose, carbon dioxide, and oxygen. And all of these things are traveling in and out of the plant and going from one part of the plant to another part of the plant. This video illustrates quite nicely those structures, and then the drawings you're going to do are images of those actual plant structures. So watch this 5-minute video first, right? That's number 1. Then, and if you go back to the calendar, then we're actually going to do the lab. So the lab can be found in the class handouts folder in Schoology. All right, so if I go back to class handouts, so here's chapter 8. Here is class handouts, and then here's the lab, the plant structure lab. So you open up the plant structure lab, and it's going to look like this. Now, if we were in the classroom, if we were in a normal world, we would set up the microscope, we'd get out the slides, and we'd look at slides underneath the microscope. And we're looking at cross sections of this plant called a monocot. So it's just a type of plant. This is corn, essentially. Here's a picture of corn. You're looking at tissue samples from corn. The first thing you're going to look at is a cross-section of the root. If you remember with the root, we have, with our microscopes, we have low, medium, and high power. The low is 40 times, the medium is 100 times, and the high power is 400 times. Now, you're not actually looking at real slides, but if you were to put the slide underneath the microscope and look through it, these images will show you really quite clearly and quite nicely what it is that you are looking at. All right, so you click on this link here, and this is going to take you to a separate page. So let's click on that. It's going to take you to a separate page. And so this is what you would see if you were looking at a monocot, cross-section of a monocot root underneath the low power, where it's magnified 40 times. Now, as you can see, there's all these different cells. Yes, they are this light green. Some are clear, some are bigger, some are smaller. Initially, you might just think, oh, it's all just a bunch of circles. But if you look close, you can see some pretty significant differences. And you can also see some patterns. Clearly in here, there's a clear pattern of arrangement of cells that make up these tubes, these vascular bundles that take the food and water and move it around inside the plant. All right, so that's just to view. You don't need to draw that. That's just to view. So that would be like if you're looking at the slide under 40 times. Then if you magnify to 100 times, it's going to look like this. So now you can see here we are under the lowest power. Now we're going to zoom into this area here, and it's going to look like this. And then this is what you draw. Now what you're going to need to do is on a separate piece of paper, you're going to have to actually draw. Now, if you have a paper copy, if you have this from Miss Stiles, you have a paper copy of the lab, you can draw right on the lab. If you don't have a paper copy of the lab, really easy. What you need to do is just get out a piece of paper and draw a circle about, I don't know, about yay big, about the size that the circle would be on a piece of paper. And then, yes, it's a little tedious, I get it, but draw this, draw it in detail. You should see clearly some variation in size. Here the cells are a little more loosely packed and they're a little bigger. And then around here you can see they're really tiny and really tightly packed. and then we have large ones here, a little looser packed in here. So this is what you draw on your piece of paper and then label it. Label the vascular bundles. How do I know what the vascular bundles are? How do I know what to label? Well, again, reference the lab, and up here it tells you for each drawing what you need to label. Where do you find that information? You find that information in the textbook reading. And again, referencing back to our Schoology homepage, if we go to Learning Resources, you'll see that under the Chapter 8 readings, we have Plant Structures Lab textbook readings. So it's several pages from the book that are scanned, and you need to read parts of those pages. All right, so back to the drawing. All right, so I've done my drawing on a piece of paper. Now I want to insert that drawing in here, and it's actually quite easy to do. Take a picture of it with your phone or your device, then save it to your drive. You can save the picture right to your drive. Oh, and make sure you label it. Label the picture, label your drawing. Because once you put the picture in here, it's going to be really hard to put in the label. So put the labels on your drawing. Take a picture of that, save it to your drive. And then when you're ready to insert the picture, I simply click on this, and you're going to see this come up. Well, that's the circle that's on the worksheet. I'm going to highlight that, just click on it, and then hit backspace to delete it. Then you'll see there's this little icon up here, image. If I click on that, it's now going to allow me to insert an image. I just simply go to my Google Drive, and I click on my Google Drive, and then I can scroll down to my images that have been recently uploaded. I'm just going to cruise past here. I know it's this one down at the bottom. This is the one that I drew, right, for the purposes of making this video. I click on that, and then it's going to load the picture right into the drawing. Now, because the picture is sideways, I need to turn it. So I just grab it, and I turn it 90 degrees. Then notice it. I can have the picture here. I can have the picture here. It doesn't really matter. It's going to center it on the worksheet when you save it. And then I click Save and Close, and then there's my drawing. Now, the drawing's a little smaller than I would like it to be, so I'm going to make it bigger. I just drag and make it bigger, and drag and make it bigger, right? And I still want this to be a part of that. So back that up, and then there's my label. So there's my drawing of my vascular bundle, or there's my drawing of my monocot root, my detailed drawing, and my label there. Repeat the same process here and here. The difference with the cross section of the stem is you're just viewing it under 40 times and then drawing it under 100 magnification medium and drawing it under high magnification 400. So here you're going to take two drawings, label them, and insert the pictures, and then finally a cross section of the leaf. So if I click on this, it's going to take me to a cross section of the leaf that's magnified 400 times. Draw that on your picture, draw that on your paper, label it, and insert that picture into this document. Again, if you need to back up to review how to do that, it's really pretty straightforward. Click on this, delete it, go to your images, find your images under your drive. So if I went all the way down again, I could then say click on this image, which is right. I could click on this one, and it will insert that into my drawing. All right. May take a little bit of practice, but it's pretty straightforward once you get it down. Almost done here. Stay with me. Same thing down here. You're going to answer these questions. It states write or insert a picture of the photosynthesis equation in words. Write or insert a picture. Same thing here. You can just put a tap right there, insert a picture. Right, insert a picture or a link. Here you have to label the reactants and the products going in and out of the corn with some arrows. How do I do that? Move this up a bit. If I click on this, it comes to my drawing. I can click on the line and I can select an arrow, and then I might have a product coming out. And I can click on the line and select an arrow, and maybe I have a product going in. Oh, let's see here. Let's try again. All right, so here I click on the line, and now I have a product going in. And then if I want to label that, I click on this box right here, insert text box. I click on that, and then I would label this. And I could just type in here, and when I type in there, then I can save it. And that will save that image. So if I were to hit save and close, well, there it is. Now we've got that. It will be bigger, right? And then it's really tiny. So I can then take that and make it nice and big like it was before. Stretch it out so it is proportional. Now obviously I don't want to save that. So I'm going to go back to this, click on this, get rid of that, click on that, get rid of this, and this, get rid of that. Alright, so that's how you save that. I'm going to make this smaller. I don't want it that big because I don't want it interfering with my labeling here. Almost there. Alright, back to where I want it. Down here, I click on this. It's a text box. I just right there and I type in my label. Same thing here. I have to label this. I click on that. I type it in as my label. So, watch the video clip. Complete the Plant Structures Lab. And then when you're done, as a wrap-up, watch this video clip. Vascular Plants, Winning, Crash Course Biology. All right, I know I went through that kind of fast, but you can always back up and review. The key component here is to make sure you draw good, detailed drawings with the proper labels. And of course, you will have to reference those pages that are cited in the lab. All right, I hope that helps.